Even today, I saw videos from David Marshall. I saw videos from MIPP and all these parties and all that. They were raising the issue of the Sungai Bakap SJKT. These politicians, these parties, what frustrates me is exactly what you're saying. What they do is, whenever there's a by-election, this election, they just raise an issue and then they blame the people for saying, don't vote for PH, vote for me. This is a problem. Indian parties refuse to move away from this traditional way of doing things, which now doesn't work because the voters are smart. They have already been conned many times. You cannot, there's a saying in English, once bitten, twice shy. They are like that. They know what is fake, what is real, like exactly what you're saying. Shouldn't Indian leaders now focus instead of just raising an issue, why don't we now focus on solution? I'll give one example. You're talking about SJKT Sungai Bakap, right? The big issue now is that allegedly, they don't have enough funds to complete the project. Okay, the government already gave peruntukan, I think 3.5 million, but apparently it's not enough. Apparently, we don't know. I don't know the inner workings because I can only say from what I read in the articles. Now, if you compare that with Chinese community, they have associations that have raised hundreds of millions by themselves for the community, for their schools. Why can't we do that? Why can't Indian leaders switch the entire dynamic and say, okay, look, this is a problem and this is how we're going to solve it? Why can't they do that?
Okay, first of all, politicians think and do things differently. Okay, and in Malaysia, not only Indian politicians, most of the politicians, they're investing so much on blame games.
Yes, that's the way they go.
See, they've forgotten. So by just blaming you, okay, that is not going to earn positivity or score for me. Okay, blaming, now you blame. There were misappropriation of fund and all the good stuff. Okay, fine. Blaming is very easy.
Doing is hard.
Okay, it's very easy. So they always take the blaming route first. Okay, the problem is blaming to certain level is, it is okay lah. As a politician, you have to play your politics.
Yeah, you have to ride on waves.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But very, very, very important. It is, you must have a path to get the problem solved. So most of these guys are not for solution because solution takes longer.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes persistent work. It takes a lot of work. All right. So that is difficult. All right. So what we do, we just blame and we try to score as much space and limelight based on the issue at that very moment. That's all the thing is. So that's why it's always been like that. Even in Chinese, we have that issue. And raising money among Indians is not difficult. The problem is who is actually raising. Professor Ramasamy, within a week, you can raise 1.32 million, right? Okay. And why? Because see, I'm not a big fan of Professor Ramasamy at all. All right? Because Zakir Naik.
Yes.
I think a lot of people, I do not want Zakir Naik to take off one of us. So that was the spirit. Because Zakir Naik, everybody went and donated. So it is not that our community don't want to donate. Who is actually asking for what they're asking? And are they transparent enough? Our biggest problem is because you see, sir, for all these years, start from Mica Holdings until today, we've been having problem managing our fund diligently. Okay.
Yeah. Transparently also. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Even Mitra. Don't forget Mitra.
Yes. Always. Okay. Right now, if you ask you want to build a Tamil school, you need about 5 million. You want to raise the 5 million and see who's the team is. I'll give an example, right? Most of the temples, how come the temple can raise 3 million, 4 million for the temples? Why? An individual, it's not even national, huh? I'll give an example. Recently, Dato Param renovated the Muniswaran temple in Pulapol, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and that goes in million, right? And why can he? He was so successfully raised that fund and built it. Okay, so it is not. It's not that we don't want to give. All right, the community don't want to give. You have not given the reason to the community, one. And second, we do not have that leader that actually command that trust for them to donate. So opposed to Chinese community, especially when it comes to school, right?
They're very
So they the Dongzong and Xiaozong, they have their own what do you call funding mechanism built in. And then you have to go back to the history first lah. See, our schools, especially Tamil schools, were built and managed by estate owners.
the companies.
Okay, mostly. All the plantations. So and because of the 1930s 30s legislation in Delhi on the Kangani system, right? So most of the schools were built and managed by the plantations. Okay, somebody else. Okay, while Chinese school all were built and managed by the community, because they all were in
Kampung Baru and all that.
not Kampung Baru. Kampung Baru was only after. They were all in their settlements. Their settlements were in plantations.
They were never.
They were in Lombong and that area and things like that. So they had that. They had the time, almost 200 years, to perfect their union, their funding, their system, their NGOs and stuff like that.
But it's not hard to perfect the system, though. That's the frustrating thing for me.
So here we don't. We have 64% of Tamil schools are sitting on estate lands. Why? After 67 years of independence, we still have Tamil schools sitting on an estate land? What went wrong? Why?
I think just because the urbanization of Indians, and then there was no coherent movement of infrastructure.
See that movement. It's a very normal. Very normal phenomenon. Okay, people once they get education, they will look for places, and this happens every other country. The problem is our Ministry of Education never recognized this as an issue. Our leader, okay, again, we have leaders based on rhetorics, not knowledge.
And policies and all that.
So when you have no knowledge, you will not have, see, until today, sir, you will see very few leaders that will talk with the facts and figures. Right? And they will just say, whatever things they want to say, just to convince you, but they will not try to convince you with the facts and figures, because they themselves do not know. Right? So that happened. So there's a lot of disparity in many ways when it comes to Indian related matters, because there's no champion to fight. Okay, and there is no political will to solve it. Okay, or seriously solve it. And third, there's no knowledge of what exactly needed.